Hey guys, so as you see, we got our back end here loaded up with some stuff. So as we were talking, John went ahead and paid off.
I paid off the Subaru, so the Subaru finally is mine. And I bought a new project. Should we tell him what it is?
Might as well.
I bought his 1994 Mustang 3.8 V6, but
it has a built 3.8. It's running 10-to-1 compression. Was going to supercharge it for myself. I was going to get a different set of rings because I wasn't impressed with the Hastings rings I had ordered. I was going to go with the actual Wiseco rings because I put Wiseco pistons in it. But that's here or there. Anyways, it's running 10-to-1 compression. It's got fully built lower end, fully built valve train. The only thing that's still stock would be the valves, because what I was going for horsepower, the valves would take up to that horsepower stock. So I just got new valves, brand new stock valves, and I put them in. I got like high performance. I got Edelbrock springs and retainers and high rise rockers because I wanted to get, like I said, I was going to supercharge it. Anyways, it's got a built T5 behind it. On top of that, it's basically looks like your plain Jane Mustang minus like the smoked out lights and stuff we had done to it. But anyways, it was a car I built on the side before we started doing the actual YouTube thing, really. And
you guys will see it here in the future because, long story short, he ended up smoking a deer. So I ended up paying for it, and I'm putting the car back on the road. So you'll see that probably within the next few months. So we'll get on to that. But since I bought the car, and paid off the Subaru, David had money, and he found himself
a 2000 F350 single rear wheel instead of the dually, but it's a 1-ton automatic full-wheel drive with the 7.3 liter diesel.
And that's not just the normal 7.3, that is the turbo model, in case anyone was wondering, because they did make them without turbos too, so the IDI.
And I found the rare model, which is called the Super Chipped 7.3.
We'll go into more details when we get to the truck and go on from there. So,
but you guys will see the truck here today. We're doing like a little road trip on it. We're actually going to get it right now. We had to get like brand new batteries for it and stuff so we can get it running, get it home. Yeah, guys, stay tuned. It's gonna be interesting.
So we'll throw it on time lapse and get on down there. Let's do it.
Yeah, Link got it bumping. Yeah, Link got it bumping.
Hey guys, so as you heard this morning, I said I bought a 7.3. We just finally got it running. Woo! There she is, guys, the 7.3 Power Stroke. So we're gonna go ahead, we gotta get the air cleaner back on, we gotta air up the driver's side tire. There's an electrical issue somewhere with the starter solenoid, so we had to do a starter jump.
We'll explain that later on.
We'll explain more later on, like John said. So we got to get a little bit of a rush. We got to get this thing going. Luckily, between what diesel I brought and what's here, I have 3/4 of a tank, so I should be able to get it home. So let's get this thing cleaned up and let's get going.
Let's do it. Alright guys, I'm sitting here waiting to get food from McDonald's here, but anyways, David's on his way over to meet me with the truck. I ended up having to run up here to AutoZone because I was going to get a new wire because we can only bypass the starter. Anyways, we'll talk about that later on. But the issue is, David said that he thinks there's a major boost leak because when he goes to turn on the AC or something, I'll let him go into more description later, but something like boost leak. But anyways, I'm gonna wait here, grab some food for me and David. Once he gets here, we'll show you guys more of the truck. The truck is not horribly bad in shape. It is decent. So, yeah, if I'm honestly not sure, but I'm gonna wait on David. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it on time lapse, waiting for it to get food. I'm gonna wait on David and we're gonna go from there. I don't know if I'm gonna throw it on time lapse I'm over here in Cloquet right now. I don't know if I'm gonna throw time lapse on when we're on the way back. Probably will, more than likely. But we're gonna go from there. So I think that's really about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and yeah. That's it.
Yeah, Link got it bumping.
Okay, guys, it's David back here at the Bros Rebuild. I'm wrapping things up here. When we did the F350 road trip here, we came back so late, we didn't make an ending. John happens to be at work tonight, and I'm just happen to be doing editing for the next video to be dropping, so I figured I might as well make this ending and get it out of the way. So, yeah, guys. So here's the breakdown. I bought this 2000 F350 Crew Cab Short Box, 7.3 turbo diesel, auto tranny super chip model. I got a credible deal on it. You know, I only paid $1,400 to do it. It's pretty cool. That's how that kind of worked out. When I bought it, I went and looked at it. I didn't get to hear it run. I didn't know if there was any issues with it. It had been parked over a year. Dude I had bought it from never even transferred it to his name. So, you know, there's some stuff I was iffy about. But, you know, it had a nice open title, so I signed the title, transferred it right away. Right off the bat, before I could even move it, I had to go buy batteries. I had to buy battery cable heads. Get fresh diesel filter. And things kind of just led on from there. So I've had the truck for probably about 3-4 weeks now. And around week 2 of having it, I started getting more and more issues. So I ended up having to park it. I think it's going to end up needing head gaskets in the end now. Just because I think there's a bad injector, and I'm noticing that there's coolant residue in the oil. And of course, injector 8's notorious to go out in them 7.3s. And what happens is usually they just get clogged with oil and they stop circulating oil through them. And they're oil cooled, so they just get hotter and hotter. It doesn't register because the temp sensor is actually towards the front of the motor for the gauge. So it doesn't always register that slow rise in heat that's coming out of the back. So it's something you guys got to kind of worry about if you end up running into a bad injector. So I think it took out the head gasket on the passenger rear corner. It's an internal leak, so it's something I can work with. But what we're going to end up doing is we're just going to redo the head gasket. We're going to put in upgraded head bolts, of course, upgraded head gaskets. We're going to do valve cover gaskets, good new glow plugs. As you guys will see, we did start working on it and have a video going on it so far. We have done headlights, tail lights. I've gotten a tailgate for it since I bought it. I bought for you guys to, something for you guys to know. 97, yeah, 97. The new body style F-150s. As long as they're the fleet side bed. All the way to 04 when they quit making the fleet side bed in that old style. F-150s and F-250s like that. Their tailgates will fit on the F250 and F350 Super Duties because they're the right length and right height and all. The only thing different is where it wraps around the corner of the bed. The F-150 sunk in a little more compared to that F350. So there's a little bit of a difference, but it will work. I picked up one that has just very light surface rust. Got a great deal on it, $25. I couldn't really pass it up. Really wanted to do tailgate just because, you know, a truck's kind of pointless having a bed and not being able to throw anything in it because you don't have a tailgate, so you worry about it flying out. You know, truck guys, we've all been there. But anyways, so there's been a bunch of stuff I've done to it. I've done some LED upgrades. We are going to be doing upgraded injectors as well, probably. I'm thinking about going with stage 1.5. I haven't really decided because I got to figure out what my price is going to be on it when I figure out the build. Head gaskets, glow plugs, you know, everything. We're probably going to even do a brand new radiator in there as well. It's already got the upgraded Garrett turbo on it with upgraded intercooler and piping. Has a cold air intake on it already. So there's a few goodies to it already. It already had upgraded head bolts, but you never want to reuse head bolts when you're fucking... You never want to reuse head bolts when you do a project. Head bolts are torque to yield, which means once you pull them out, they're usually stretched longer than they should, and they're notorious to break. Just a few things to keep in mind, people. But I do thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the road trip video. There is more to come. We probably have a good 7 or 8 videos right now. I'm in the process of working on. I do all the editing myself. My brother does. That's why you see my brother in more of the footage than me, because I do more editing than him. Well, I do all the editing. He doesn't really help at all, but that's just how life goes, you know. That's why we call it the Bros Rebuild. He does part of the work, I do part of the work. So thank you all again. Don't forget about the 5000K build. Oh, and another thing before I let you guys go here today, I want to talk about a merch lineup. I'm working on designing some t-shirts and sweatshirts, so is my brother. But we're thinking t-shirts, sweatshirts, lanyards, maybe sunglasses, wallets, posters. Anything you guys want to see us make merch of, drop in the comments below. Because we want to see what you guys would prefer to buy. So we know what we have to put more money towards. Like, let's just say a good chunk of the population wants more lanyards than they do want sweatshirts. Then we'll have more lanyards made up than sweatshirts. Just because I want to figure out where money is going to be going for this, I gotta get it all started up. But once we get our merch line going, I will drop it, let you guys know. But just to let you know that guys, that is coming soon. Just stay tuned for that as well. All right, we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.